Back on TC Live, this time last year, we were getting ready for the Next Gen Finals in Milan, and the Italian fans had a homegrown winner for the first time last year. Jannik Sinner took the crown, and suddenly, Italian tennis finds itself with a new crop of young stars. Here's Jon Wertheim with today's Unstrung.
There's a new force on the tennis block, a new center of gravity. If it's not a new empire, tennis doesn't really do empires anymore. There's a new powerhouse country that will contend for the Davis Cup. Benvenuto Italia. Despite being home to one of the great tennis venues, the Foro Italico, site of what is still casually called the Italian Open, Italy has kept a modest tennis profile over the last century. Only 4 Italian players have ever won majors, but 2 of them, Francesca Schiavone and Flavia Pennetta, did so within the last decade. And consider it a bit of foreshadowing. Today, Italians are coming, seeing, and conquering draws left and right. There are 2 Italian men hovering around the top 10. And 2 of the best prospects, ages 20 and under, are Italian as well. Jannik Sinner, fresh off a French Open quarterfinal run, comes from the north. And Lorenzo Musetti, an 18-year-old who can't stop winning this year, comes from the middle. And Italian fans don't have to go far to see them. The Next Gen Finals have been held in Milan. Not to be confused with the ATP Finals, which, after a decade plus in London, will now be held in Turin starting next year. All this Italian influence lays bare a tennis truism. Success breeds success. You could make the case this is all a long time coming. Italy has the climate, the sports history, and the population. It is, for instance, 7 times the size of neighboring Switzerland, which is responsible for 30 major singles titles over the last quarter century. But as Caesar himself said, the past is the past. And today, the boot is kicking butt.
And the shin of the boot will be the focus of the tennis world right around this time next year. That's because the ATP Finals are moving from London to Turin near the French border. They're going to have their hands full trying to put on as good a show as London has now for more than a decade. But what will it mean to Italian tennis to now have this, the biggest showcase outside of the majors, on their soil?
Look, this is huge, and once again, Wertheim comes through with another great little segment for us. But I think it's important to note that all these young players are coming off after the women kind of are leading the way for them, right? We're seeing Musetti come along. He's a great player. We're seeing a lot of the different names. Berrettini. We've got Fabius Fabio in there. And I think it's just going to keep building because the momentum is getting big. The passion is always there. And total transparency, guys, my mom's maiden name, Schiavone.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Annacone and Schiavone.
We learn something new every day,
but it should technically be Annacone. Is it
probably
from the
Annacone. You got to give it one of these ones.
I don't know. Somebody phone in and let us know.
Nick Monroe. Is it a big deal?
Going to go to Italy. Yeah, you know what? I mean, they're going to have record prize money there, $14.5 million for the players. And again, I mean, it's a big tournament for the ATP, a lot of revenue, but to have the top 8 guys in Italy and obviously everyone coming up in Italy, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, so there'll be 1 year of crossover where they actually have both the Next Gen Finals and the ATP Finals in Italy at the same time. Then the Next Gen will move. But take a look at their cup that runneth over in Italy right now. This is the list, and that many guys in the top 126. Pick out a name here that you would buy stock in, Nick.
You know what? Lorenzo Sonego, 25 years old, ranked 33 right now. He was just lucky loser in Vienna. Came runner-up to was runner-up in Vienna, beating Novak, 1 and 2 actually there. And so he's got a big forehand, a big serve. You know, he's on the verge of being top 32, almost seeded at the Australian Open. And one of those guys that, you know, he has got such a big game. He can almost take the racket out of your hand. And I'm just seeing big things from him.
Yeah, you're going old. He's 25. I'm going to go with an 18-year-old Musetti. This kid is something else. I got to see him play a bunch in Rome. How about qualifying and beating Stan and Kei Nishikori? Backed it up, had 2 really good wins. He's been a lot of fun to watch. Got to the semis in Sardinia. Very, very good player and a lot of flash, a lot of flair, and we're going to see a lot. It's hard to just pick one name on that list, though, Brett, right?
That's a trick question.
I really like. So good discipline by you keeping it to 1. But if I was thinking about where is the motivation coming from for this latest crop of Italian players, Could it be coming from the women? We've got 4 Italian women in the past decade who've made major finals.
Yeah, I mean, you see that list there: Panetta, Vinci, Arani. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to look up to somebody when you're a young player, and so why not look up to the players like Fabio and the women who obviously have done it before? So they've had people to look up to, so that's great.
I mean, look, and they've led the way, right? We've seen Panetta. I think was Panetta the first Italian woman? I thought I read she was the first Italian woman in the top 10, maybe ever.
I believe so.
Anyway, we'll have to ask Brett Haberini after that when we go to break.
And we have to do it with our hand like this.
Look, they've been amazing. The women have led the way. They've seen a lot of great success there. And now it's the young Italian guys. And it's great. That whole screen was a whole slew of them. And it was really tough to just pick one name.
All right. Well, again, good job. Good job keeping it to
Discipline.
one. The list
Discipline.
goes on. Italy is the new Italy.